Almost everyone wants to be respected, but nearly everyone goes about it wrong. They seek approval, chase validation, and hope that being nice or agreeable is enough. But respect is never given to those who beg for it, it's reserved for those who take it without asking. This isn't about being liked. It's about playing the social game to win, not just to fit in. In the next 30 minutes, you'll receive 7 Machiavellian psychological tactics that shift you from unnoticed to unforgettable, from background noise to the one people instinctively stand straighter around. If you want comfort, if you want to hear that the world is fair, this video isn't for you. But if you're willing to abandon illusion for power, keep watching. The difference between the respected and the overlooked is never accidental. It's built, tactic by tactic. Most will stay blind. You won't. The first tactic begins here. That what's always available is rarely admired. The more people see, hear, or can reach you, the less your presence or opinions are prized. This is the law of scarcity at its core. Value rises with rarity, and nothing is more intoxicating to the social mind than what it cannot easily possess. If you speak only when you have something deliberate to say, if your reactions are measured rather than automatic, every word lands with 10 times the impact. The room quiets not because you demand silence, but because your silence itself has become a signal something is about to shift. Mere restraint separates the respected from the forgettable. Practice withholding commentary even when you know the answer. Observe how people lean forward, waiting, valuing your eventual opinion above their own. Strategic scarcity isn't absence, it's presence on your terms. Don't always answer messages immediately. Don't always attend every gathering or share every thought. Let others experience your absence enough times that your presence becomes an event, not a habit. Most will never have the patience for silence or the discipline for selective visibility. That's exactly why their words fade into background noise as soon as they're spoken. The person who can make himself less available, who replaces noise with stillness, automatically commands respect, because he's marked himself as a limited resource. In a world addicted to constant update and endless sharing, your discipline to remain partially hidden is interpreted as confidence, not aloofness. When you finally decide to speak, your words carry weight, and your opinions echo beyond the immediate moment. If you can train yourself to resist the urge to fill every gap, you will find that your value to others begins to escalate in ways most never experience. That is the first foundation. Now, imagine what happens when you pair rarity of words with emotional control. This is where the non-reactive shield comes in. Respect gravitates toward those who cannot be triggered. In the social arena, losing your cool, even for a moment, signals low rank. The man who blusters, fumes, or gets visibly rattled is revealed as someone who can be controlled by other people's moves. Those who hold power, by contrast, remain composed regardless of insult, praise, or provocation. This composure is a public declaration: you do not move me. People instinctively admire what they can't disturb. Imagine an office in which one person is the target of gossip or passive-aggressive comments, yet never bites the hook, never clarifies, never justifies. No matter how provocatively others act, he offers only calm observation, perhaps a small, knowing smile. Over time, others adjust their behavior, attacks diminish, opinions shift, and even the loudest critics learn silence before testing his patience. This is social gravity built from within. Practice remaining still in heated moments, answering challenges with quiet acknowledgement, or, when needed, dignified withdrawal. The man who is slow to anger is mistaken for one dangerous to provoke. Don't give away your emotional triggers. Don't perform outrage for the crowd. Most people cannot resist overreacting. Their reputation narrows every time they reveal how easily they can be agitated. The non-reactive shield is an aura, a form of power perception. The less you react, the more others believe you are already above them. Beyond patience, this discipline turns every attempt at manipulation against itself. You become the one who sets the upper emotional limit of every exchange. When emotional chaos surrounds you, but you remain precise, the respect you generate is instant and sticky. But commanding a room requires more than internal discipline, it also means knowing how to shape the entire conversation. That's why controlling the frame is the next level. Leadership is an illusion unless you set the terms. This is the art of cold framing, establishing the context and rules of every encounter so others unconsciously follow your lead. Most drift into conversations on someone else's track, answering questions they did not choose, justifying themselves against accusations, or adopting concerns that are not their own. But the Machiavellian mind refuses to play on a stage built by others. He who frames, leads, because the framer sets not only what is said, but what is ignored, valued, or dismissed. For example, if asked, "Why are you late?" reply with, "Did anything urgent happen before I arrived?" This flips the focus. When challenged, don't defend, ask, "What solution do you have in mind?" Suddenly, burden and power are reversed. In negotiations, begin with, "Here's what I want for both of us," setting mutual benefit as the lens. In group settings, summarize before you speak, "The real issue isn't what happened, it's how we prevent it again." Cold framing doesn't require loudness or dominance. It requires clarity, timing, and the willingness to refuse irrelevant premises. The one who refuses to justify, who chooses which question to answer and which to ignore, directs the entire flow. Most will never master this, frozen by politeness and fear of seeming evasive. But those who do construct reality for the group. Once you can cold frame, you're no longer a participant, you're the architect of the conversation. The result is immediate, people wait for your perspective before moving forward, ceding respect by default. Yet even the best frame shatters without boundaries, so the next tactic is making those boundaries unmistakable. Right in public view, people respect what they cannot easily cross. Invisibility, patience, and composure gain power only if reinforced by visible boundaries. Most people try to maintain peace by quietly absorbing small violations, saying yes when they mean no, or brushing aside discomfort in the hope it won't be noticed. This only teaches observers that you're safe to ignore, override, or extract from. Boundary setting is the line between background and authority. There's no need for confrontation or drama, what matters is public clarity. When someone interrupts, speak calmly but firmly, "Let me finish." When an unreasonable request is made, reply, "That doesn't work for me." When gossip is directed your way, answer, "I'm not part of that conversation." Each clear, concise no or refusal in public resets the social hierarchy and forces others to see you as a force, not a follower. One boundary set overtly has more impact than 100 quiet sacrifices. It's proof, evidence that you recognize your own worth and enforce it. People test limits only until they learn you have them, and then respect follows as a simple adaptation. Most will never do this, fear of conflict keeps them agreeable but invisible. The room takes its cues from the one willing to draw a line. Over time, your yes becomes valuable and your no becomes legendary. Next is the subtle art of revealing strength without ever exposing need, because pity and power never coexist. There is a myth that vulnerability means submitting your wounds for public review. In reality, most displays of weakness trigger pity, not respect, and those who beg for understanding often attract condescension. Strategic vulnerability is the exception, a calculated reveal that demonstrates your humanity without exposing softness. Lead first with competence, let others witness your results, your discipline, and your ability to perform under pressure. Only then, in carefully chosen moments, reveal a challenge you overcame or a struggle that sharpened your edge. The signal is strength refined through adversity, not fragility awaiting rescue. For example, mention the hours you spent mastering a skill after achieving something, not the self-doubt you felt before starting. Share setbacks as evidence of your relentless pursuit, not as invitations for sympathy. This shifts the dynamic. You are not asking for validation, you are offering proof that toughness was earned, not assumed. To the perceptive, your scars become credentials. People respect the man who shows where he bled once his capability is established, because he's reframing vulnerability not as deficiency, but as origin story. Never confuse this with self-pity. The world admires effort, not need. And now, you're ready to master the silent signals of authority that precede respect. Before you speak, before a single word escapes your mouth, you are judged. Authority isn't granted by speech but by silent signals, tiny, unspoken cues that prime others to show deference or set their gaze elsewhere. Mastering micro-power moves separates leaders from followers before the conversation begins. Hold unbroken eye contact a beat longer than most dare, it signals presence, not aggression. Anchor your posture, sit or stand straight, shoulders relaxed, feet firm, never fidget or shrink. Occupy space deliberately, spreading your materials on the table or widening your stance in a group. Pause before responding, letting your words drop into silence, they'll weigh more. Lower your vocal tone slightly, it registers confidence and calm, not anxiety. Tilt your chin up subtly, never down. Resist the urge to over-nod or over-express approval. One slow, controlled nod conveys more than 10 frantic ones. When you enter a room, move with purpose, avoid unnecessary haste, and greet others as equals, not supplicants. Natural authority is about perception control. Most people are eager to project submission, hoping for comfort. You're building an aura that makes people listen before you claim expertise. These micro moves require practice, not bravado. Once embedded, respect arrives ahead of your words. Next, we amplify your status with a weapon more powerful than any single gesture, the force of strategic social proof. Respect is never only about what you do, it's also about the company you keep. Social proof is the ultimate amplifier. By positioning yourself alongside those already respected, you inherit instant credibility, even in rooms where you're unknown. This isn't imitation, it's strategic association. When you collaborate with high-status individuals or champion causes that people revere, their prestige rubs off on you. Attend exclusive events, contribute to respected organizations, or find ways to be seen working with influencers in your field. Even sharing photos or anecdotes of collaborating with accomplished people shifts perception. The mind reasons, if they respect him, perhaps I should, too. This is psychological leverage that shortcuts years of invisible effort. Most climb alone, hoping someone notices. The Machiavellian strategist aligns strategically, turning borrowed status into their own foundation. Avoid empty name dropping or transparent flattery, the association must be credible and visible. Start by offering value to respected circles, not requests for validation. Each time you're publicly linked with a figure or cause people admire, your perceived worth jumps. Leverage their echo, but build your own resonance. Now, with these 7 tactics, it's time to lock them into memory and activate them, because knowledge without action is just another invisible man that you've just been initiated into 7 psychological tactics that instantly demand respect where most beg and fade. Begin with strategic scarcity, become difficult to access, and your presence gains value. Master the non-reactive shield, let others waste energy trying to provoke you while you remain centered. Cold framing is your social weapon, set the stage, dictate the rules, and dictate what matters. Enforce boundaries publicly, a single overt no commands more deference than a lifetime of silent compliance. Learn strategic vulnerability, showcase effort after you've proven competence, never as a plea. Authority signaling is your new default, make every silent gesture deliver your status before you speak. Finally, borrow status by leveraging social proof, align with powerful circles, and you inherit their credibility and reach. Most people will watch, nod, and let the knowledge die here. If you want to break the cycle of invisibility, activate just one tactic today. Test it. Notice the shift. Then stack them, one by one, until respect is no longer luck, it's your identity. Comment, I see respect now, to join the few who play above the crowd. Subscribe. In the next lesson, you'll be armed with the 5 social manipulation skills they hope you never master. The game deepens.